Hi everybody, my name is Islam Khalil. I am doing a presentation on the West Nile virus and pesticide spraying. Uh, Shout out to the guy in the right side of the class, second to last desk. He's the one that does all the work. Please raise your hand. Um, so for the first slide, beginnings. The West Nile virus was a flavivirus with an African origin. It was first isolated from a woman in the West Nile district of Uganda in 1937. The disease has been found in many regions like Western Central Asia, Europe, North America, Africa, and Middle East. In the 1950s, it was associated with severe cases of meningitis and encephalitis. So, West Nile virus cannot be transmitted from person to person. However, it can be spread from infected mosquitoes. Mosquitoes can become infected when they feed on infected birds. So it would originally start from the birds, and then the mosquitoes be affected, and then once a mosquito latches on a human being, the human being could be affected. In a small amount of cases, WNV has been spread through blood transfusions, organ transplants, mother to baby during pregnancies, and breastfeedings. So that's not the main cause of transmission, but there has been few cases of people catching disease from these certain cases. Who is at risk of WNV? Anyone living in an area where the disease is located can be affected. WNV has been detected in 48 states. The other two states are Hawaii and Alaska. Since 1999, outbreaks have been occurring in every summer in the US. The risk of infection is highest for people who work and participate outdoors. Symptoms. About 1 in 5 people who are infected will develop flu-like symptoms. Furthermore, less than 1% will develop a serious, sometimes fatal neurologic illness. Most people, 70-80%, who have become with the West Nile virus do not develop any symptoms. The symptoms of the neurological illness can include headache, high fever, neck stiffness, disorientation, coma, tremors, seizures, or paralysis. Pesticides like larvicides and adulticides were used to help stop and minimize the spread of disease by killing infected mosquitoes, as well as insecticides. Larvicides is an insecticide that travels larval stage and immature mosquitoes. It can be applied directly to water sources. Adulticides kills adult mosquitoes. It can be applied from handheld sprayers, truck motor sprayers, and or using airplanes. Two classes of adulticides are organophosphate and pyrethroids. Organophosphate works on the nervous system and a chlorine esterase inhibitors. There are currently three organophosphate adulticides: malathion, naglide, and phenethion. Pyrethroids also work in the nervous system. It usually combined with synergist pyreprion petoxide and it interferes with the insect's detoxifying mechanisms. Most common pyrethroids are synthetic pyrethroids, permethrin, resmethrin, cermethrin. Pesticides can cause huge health risks. It may include symptoms like nausea, headache, dizziness, vomiting, sweating, blurred vision, slow heartbeat, and diarrhea. According to the Center for Disease Control, aerial spraying for adulticides is the least effective mosquito technique. Mosquitoes can quickly rebound to prior levels. In addition, indiscriminate spraying can increase resistance in non-targeted insects and can harm beneficial insects. Other methods of protecting yourself. There are other methods to protect yourself from WNV. Some people can cover up their body by wearing long sleeve t-shirt, pants. Also, there is a mosquito repellent spray. In addition, avoid peak mosquito hours, which is in the morning, and also to empty out any standing water, like in garbage cans or in bird ponds. Environment. Spraying pesticides can travel through the environment, and chemicals can be blown by the wind into other areas. Lakes, rivers, and streams can be affected by pesticides. In addition, it can seep through the soil and affect the groundwater. So when a pesticide is being sprayed, it can go through the soil and go into the groundwater, as well as it can move into rivers and lakes and streams. In addition, it can be vaporized in the atmosphere and then rained upon later and can also affect the marine life. Different point of view. A study called Human Health Risk Assessment for West Nile virus and insecticides uses of mosquito management has scientific evidence including indicating that human health risks from residential exposure to mosquito insecticides are low and are not likely to exceed levels of concerns. The objective of the study was to use reasonable worst-case risk assessment methodologies and evaluate human health risks for WNV and insecticides most commonly used to control adult mosquitoes. In this experiment, it determined a potential acute 1-day and subchronic 90-day multi-route residential exposures from each insecticide with several human subgroups during the WNV disease outbreak scenario, then compared potential insecticide exposures to toxicolic and regulatory effect levels. Risk quotients were less than 1 for all subgroups. Acute RQs range from 0.0004 to 0.4726, and a subchronic RQs range from 0.00014 to 0.2074. Results from the risk assessment and the current weight of scientific evidence indicate that human health risks from residential exposure to mosquito insecticides are low and not likely to exceed the level of concern. Further, the results indicate that based on human health criteria, the risks of WNV exceeds the risks from exposure of mosquito insecticides. So what it's saying is that WNV is more of an issue to human health than what pesticides can be. So, next slide. Conclusion. To conclude, the West Nile virus is a disease affects many regions across the globe. Also, pesticides are used to prevent the spread of disease by killing insects and carrying the virus. Adulticides and insecticides were used to fight the spread of the West Nile virus. However, there are downsides to using them. It affects humans' health, the environment, and animals. That's my PowerPoint presentation. Have a great day. And that's my references. Always gotta do your references.